Hello, everybody, Pips. We haven't even run our music. We're just working on stuff because we've been practicing trying to go live on Channel 23. So
Because he's ridiculous.
I am, but you know.
Anyway, good
what is-
morning, everyone, and thank you for your patience. We're only a day late. It's our version of Magickal Monday on, I'd say terrible Tuesday, but
Let me put this out the way here. Hold on.
because my bunny's trying to torture me this morning.
We got that. That's working there.
Let's see if anybody's
Right.
here and I can write them in for their
Okay,
readings.
let's waz over here. And
Oh, goodness, that's not
where's
right.
our...
I don't know.
I'll figure it out. It's all right. For whatever reason, we seem to have quit.
He gets these brilliant ideas, which are very Leo-like, and he says, we're going to go live on Channel 23 today.
Well,
And I said, well, you've got like 8 minutes. I don't think that that's going to be possible.
I get us back to
So
where we're
there
going.
you go. And of course, now, maybe next week.
There you go.
All right, who's here? Sean, Anna,
Helena,
and who?
And Laura. Yay, I didn't miss it this week. Well, that's good because we nearly did. So welcome everybody to a crazy Tuesday, Monday. Hello, Cass, as well. Gosh,
okay.
they're all coming in.
Alrighty.
We sort of know what we're doing, but
Well,
we don't.
We haven't mastered cloning yet. If we could have just mastered cloning, we could be in 2 places at one time, but we haven't mastered that yet. So I'm afraid we have to just, schedule our lives like human beings that only embody one body at a time.
Why stop at 2? If we're going to go for it, why don't we just do the whole omnipotence thing and
There
be
was
everywhere?
some movie I think
Omnipresent or
called
whatever you call it.
Multiplicity or something where the guy just, the copies kept getting worse and worse.
Oh no! Can you imagine?
It was Michael Keaton, I think. Lori would know because she's a good movie buff.
Why does Zoom think we're still working on Zoom? I thought I was not on Zoom. I thought I quit Zoom.
You're zooming to somewhere
Best not be. Let's do that.
out in the ethers.
Let's that.
Technology. Alrighty. Well, anyway,
There we go.
I'm going to start with a cool announcement. I don't know if any of you are interested, but we play something called Witch Go,
Oh God, it's good.
which is psychic bingo. How does that work? Okay.
I hear you ask. How does it work? How does that work?
Well, what happens is everybody comes in and we have limited space, so we're only going to have 16 folks come. So you'd have to sign up as soon as you know you want to come. It's
Yes.
going to be on March 15th, on Friday night, March 15th at 7 o'clock.
It's part of our.
So we're limited.
Fundraising
It's a
plans.
fundraiser for Celtica, yeah. So there's lots of prizes and all kinds of fun. But what happens is you pay $25, and that gives you a card for each game and a door prize ticket,
Oh.
right? And then some of the games will have more than one thing going on. Like you may have to do 4 corners and then do the square, so you could win more than once on a card.
Oh, I see. So there's like corner prizes and straight line prizes.
So that's like bingo usually is, right? But
indeed.
our bingo is more interesting because the card you get has no numbers on it. So we do a little meditation in the beginning of each round where you choose your own numbers. So we'll tell you in the first row you can have numbers whatever through whatever, and you'll sit and you'll divine your numbers and you'll put them in whatever box you want. Like you don't have to put 1 in the top box if you want to choose 1. You could put 1 in the 5th box,
You could, yeah, but
So-
each row or whatever.
Each row has a particular
specific range
stop,
of numbers.
right?
Yeah.
Start and stop point. So that we have you do those in Sharpie, and then we come around and make sure that nobody has 2 of the same number in a row, or that nobody has put the wrong possible number in, right? Like you have number 60 in the row where 60 is not going to get called, things like that.
Right.
So you set up your card, and then we play bingo. So it's psychic bingo. We call it Witch Go, and then there'll be prizes for each game. And it's really a hoot. It's an hysterical night.
Well, nobody can accuse you. I got a bum card.
Yeah, you can't.
You divined your own numbers.
You can't say we rigged the cards because
It's one of those like, can you actually believe it? Yeah, but it's so much fun. We haven't done that and since before the pandemic. I know.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
know.
it's been a while.
It's been a while, but
Hi,
it's
Wendy.
people love it. It's hilarious.
It is.
And it's just,
Hi, Savannah. Yeah, it is. It is hysterical. It is hysterical.
gosh. Happy Tuesday to you as well. Yes, indeed.
Yes. All right.
It's a Monday Tuesday or a
It's a
Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday. So I wanted to just make sure I got that out there because if you want a seat, we only have 16 seats because
It's very true.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very true. Very true.
until we get our giant great hall with Celtica, we're limited.
There's weird pingings and pongings going on the Talk of Tick. If you're joining us on the Talk of Tick, hello, hello, hello.
All
hello.
right. So in other news, we
Yes.
have been working magically to try to find helpful people for quite some time.
I think we're finding that.
And we have found quite a few wonderful people.
Yes, yes.
Some of you know Sean is helping us with the Mari, and Doris Jean and her husband are going to help us with some of our outdoor work that we need to get done. And we've just had one of the other people from Circle's sister-in-law who's going to try to help us with fundraising. And then we met a lovely young lady named Heidi, who is...
Heather.
Oh, Heather. I'm sorry.
Heidi's the other
Heidi
one.
is the other one.
It's, everybody starts with an H. It's really...
Heather, who came in to meet us the other night and has found a sponsor to help us with the Marty Lloyd parade in the turning of the wheel. And she's also going to try to help do some fundraising for Celtica. And we are kind of getting into a place where this property is up for sale now and people have been looking at it. So again, we'll put out to you that many times in life, it's who you know
It is.
and not what you know.
It is.
And that the church, you know, is a legal 501c3.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come across anybody who is looking for a tax write-off or has money they want to make a donation to a good cause, you can receive 25% of whatever you collect. So we're just putting that out there to whoever may be watching this video. Please go to Celtica.org and watch that video and see if you know anybody who would like to help with land preservation, preservation of Celtic traditions and folklores and mythologies, preservation of customs and language and all the things that Celtica
Like permaculture
Yeah.
and wonderful, what do you want to call it? Symbiotic, ecologically sound
So that
agricultural
30
principles.
acres, it's not quite the 100 acres that we had looked at before, but we can do an awful lot on 30 acres. And
That's and it's a start, and it's
and
a
it
start.
does adjoin a 104 acre parcel that will be coming on the market.
Yeah,
So there is a possibility of
if
linking that
we
in
would-
if we do really well.
We could, because we were talking about all of the amazing stuff that we can do, like mythic role play, and we actually have like
A white horse for
police
Rhiannon,
encounter with Rhiannon. That for example might be incredible. When a little mini Gorsath our birth kind of thing.
25%, yes.
Yes.
So if you raised $400,000, you could get $100,000.
So
who do you know?
Believe it or not, I mean, well, typically, if you think about if a lawyer goes out and sues somebody for a case, they may charge up to 70% of that fee. Legally, as a 501c3, we can go up to I think it's 25%, something like that we could actually pay as a commission. It's perfect. It's perfectly reasonable. Now you're going to have to pay tax on that,
Right?
Obviously,
Because that's earned money for you.
because it's earned income. But
When the gentleman offered us to buy before he put it on the market, he told us we could have it for $290, and now it's on the market for $400. So the goal to buy the property is $400. But I'm just saying, I know there are all kinds of people out there who know people, right? Who maybe are thinking about making donations because they don't want to, leave their legacy to their family that they hate. So they're diversifying some of their funds. Whatever it is, we would really, really love to be able to have this for our community, you know?
So Laura says, wow, she's well, okay. So Laura, if you go to Celtica.org, CELTICA.org, right there on the front page of it, you will see the introductory video, which explains the whole thing, because it's this it's a concept. Basically, it's like preserving nature in the old ways for future generations. It teaches people responsibility for the land, that we live in partnership, or we belong to the land. You know, we don't own it per se. It's not for us to just use it as we will. There's all sorts of philosophies and truisms and parables, you know. But the one I think I like the most is that we don't inherit the land from our parents. We borrow it from our children, you know, or our grandchildren. And we're doing an awful job at this present moment in time in really taking care of the planet. You know, we destroy so much of our ecosystem.
I'm just going to look something up.
Okay, you go ahead and look that up. But our idea is to impress upon people the importance it is in living in harmony with nature, and making less of a footprint really on the land, but also to pass on, you know, things that are in danger of like disappearing. I mean, you've probably never heard of pletching a hedge. Lisa and I, we used to live in Wales. For the first 10 years of our relationship, we travelled backwards and forwards, a month here, a month there, a month here, a month there. But our neighbour taught us how these skills, like, pletching a hedge is actually like cutting through and coppicing sort of like bushy trees and weaving them together so that they grow into this self-sustaining, you know, like you can parcel up land with it, but it repairs itself, and it provides an incredible ecosystem. Little critters and songbirds and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's better than just a regular barbed wire fence. And that's just one thing.
So this is how
This
is how much I love my crazy life, right? So I had planned to talk to you today about some things.
Hello, Anna.
Planned to talk to you about some things, and I just said, "Oh, that's another thing that I bet happened then."
Oh, no.
And I went and looked it up, and absolutely it did.
Oh no!
All right.
Are we off on we're off on an astrological magical mystery tour now?
We're going to go on quite a circular thing. All right. So this lovely young lady, Heather. I take her out and I show her the Welsh deities, and I give her a copy of the Mabinogi and our book, Simply Wicca. And I told her a little brief synopsis of each of the statues' mythologies. Now, I said, I'm not going to go over these because they're Celtic breed and Aramid, but they're not Welsh Celtic. So I'm not going to go over these, or the bottom shelf where we have, you know, like Hecate and the Morrigan, but, you know, they're cool too. And she took the Mabinogi and she said, "Oh, I might read some of these stories to make little shorts." And I said, "Well,
okay.
Alrighty. But see this word here, Pwyll? It's not pool." And she laughed and she said, "Well, maybe I'll have him do it, you know." But she said, "You know, you guys are right on the cutting edge, because that famous guy whose name I can't remember, and I'm sorry, bought Wrexham, right? Wales is making this big, huge resurgence." Well,
thanks.
I agree that Wales is having a resurgence.
Is it just down to a football
team? But I
team?
won't give the football guy all the credit. What I'm going to say is there is this energy of the old gods that are stirring.
Oh, and how?
And we're having astrological configurations that are pointing. Ryan Reynolds, yes, that's it. Astrological configurations that are pointing towards these interesting events.
Uh-oh, she drew a chart.
I actually printed
a chart.
But, I have this. Okay. All right.
In trouble now.
So, you know, in astrology, what we do is we look at a past event and see what happened. Mm-hmm. And then we see what that same event or similar event, because obviously the planets all travel in different orbits, so they wouldn't all be in the same place, you know. I'm not talking about planetary alignment. I'm saying that, you know, they have different. Anyway, never mind. All right. So, you know, last time I talked about things that were very popular in 1969, kind of having that imprint of this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that's getting tighter and tighter, by the way. All right, so Jupiter and Uranus are both in Taurus, and they're getting closer. And one of the things from 1969 that was life-changing or a huge milestone was man walking on the moon.
Oh, yeah. I watched that. I remember. I was only teeny, but I remember watching it.
And you know, this past week we had a lunar landing.
We did.
So you can see this kind of thing.
There's a parallel, is there not?
And I said, what I had paused and looked up was, I said, gosh, I wonder when King Charles was actually made Prince of Wales.
His investiture.
His investiture as Prince of Wales.
Go on then. Was it 69?
July 69. Because I was thinking in my head, well, let me see. He was born in 40-something, and I think that he was 16 or 17. And I was trying to do the math in my head. I said, screw it. Let me just look it up. And it was
Do you know what, though? He actually learnt Welsh. He learnt Welsh.
Absolutely.
So, you know, that's...
And gave a little bit of a sneaky speech behind Elizabeth's back because dim siarad Cymru.
Ysbrydoliaeth.
Yeah.
Well, that was his inspiration, wasn't it? But yeah, Annibaliaeth is what we were talking about.
Annibaliaeth now, yeah. So currently, a lot of the Welsh people were quite distressed that they still have to have a Prince of Wales. They don't want to be a principality. They want their independence.
Well, they wouldn't mind if the prince was actually Welsh.
Right.
You know, like maybe like one of the Llywelyns, you know, but
something like that.
But yes.
So I've never been on the cutting edge of anything in my life, which I find is hysterical. You know, I don't pay attention to the styles or what's popular or anything like that. So I think it's really funny that I'm on this wave. We're on this wave of the doing our best in our own square mile to revive the Welsh language and the Welsh customs and traditions.
Exactly. And we had what was it, Rodri? What's his name? Just wandered in, the guy from S4.
So funny. Guy comes up on the porch. He says, "Excuse me."
Rodri Davis. There you go. Of course, it's a Welsh name.
Right. Yeah. What's with the Welsh flag out front? And I took him in and showed him the cabinet, and he said,
he wasn't expecting to see that.
In New Paltz, no. Then he looked really familiar, and it's because he was a sports announcer on Pedwar Ek when we lived in Wales.
Yes, Pedwar Ek. He's a former rugby player and a what do you call him? Sportscaster, isn't it?
Yeah.
That fancy name. But yeah, he's it's really funny the way like synchronicities kind of work, isn't it? That you know, all of a sudden the stars align, quite literally, you know, and things start to fit in place. And it's been going on for millennia, but I think we are probably now in the right place at the right time. All we've got to do is connect with the public awareness, and that's where you guys help.
Right. All right. So, I'm sorry, I lost my train.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You were talking about
I can hold it
astrology
for just so long, and then it gets gone.
Evidence,
I'm
looking
sorry.
at how things went, and you were looking at 69, and then we talked about Prince Charles' investiture. You looked at that. That's where you were at, and then I started waffling on.
Okay.
Good. Glad we cleared that up. Waffle, waffle, waffle. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm going to get there, but anyway. So I wanted to talk about, this week we have a little bit of a challenge with Mars and Venus traveling together.
Oh, yes.
Mars and Venus are traveling together, acting as one. So we have this two aspects of love, really, right? You have Mars, which is the aggressor, forceful, attractor, endurer kind of thing. And at the same time, you have Venus, who is more gentle, respectful, and maybe a little bit deeper. You know, where Mars is very impassioned, there's that fiery energy that might give way, where Venus is more deep. So these two, if you could combine all that, are traveling together, acting as one in the sign of Aquarius. So I think these next couple of weeks, while this conjunction is considered close enough to be a conjunction, acting as one, these next couple of weeks there's going to be a lot of movement humanitarily with humanitarian issues. So I think you'll see a lot more work going on with Russian sanctions, with what's going on in Israel and Palestine.
Apparently they're on the verge of a ceasefire. So
and
this is
I
good.
think you'll see... I lost the third one, sorry.
Sorry.
I'm having I am so... I don't want to use the word overwhelmed, but my database is full, right? There's no more room channeling things. So if I didn't write it down, I'm not going to remember it. But anyway, humanitarian things are going to be at the forefront, and you may notice in your personal life that you have this kind of push me, pull me energy about what you value and the direction you want to go in, and what you're pursuing and how you can carefully do that, all those kind of things. So, pay attention to the signs and symbols, and I'll share another story with you that gives me a little bit of inspiration. Oh yeah, I'm
tuned
definitely
into too many places at once. You can say that again, Savannah.
Yeah. The things that have been coming down the.
We've had a mad download week, the last week or something. So much stuff has been pouring in.
I can't wait till you guys can read this book. You're just going to be like, what the hell? Where did that come from? And I wish I could tell you.
Can't yet.
There's been so many
Can't
things.
yet.
So many things that I've said, okay, I have this. And he's like, well, that's really cool, but how do I prove that? And then, so finally this one thing that I was like this weird theory download, we did find astronomical proof of, so that was cool. But anyway,
and it's so current and so in your face, it's like, oh my god.
Well, right, because again we're having this resurgence. You think about Woodstock, everybody was buying their tarot cards and Ouija boards, blah blah. So you have that 69 thing, but we also have the greater cycle, right? A larger cycle where we're on the cutting edge of things that were very esoteric and occult. Madame Blavatsky and the renaissance of the divinatory things, and the servants of the light, Dion Fortune, all that kind of stuff. All that's stirring underneath here too. But the old gods are trying to bubble up.
They are.
And we have Saturn in Pisces, so you're probably having some wild dreams.
I know I have.
Yeah, I've had some really strange dreams. And that is conjunct Mercury, communication, and the sun right now. So you've got those three traveling together, which is an interesting combination. So I would say for that, Saturn adds that discernment to the information that's coming in, helping you not to trust falsities.
And
since,
there are too many of them.
Since I only have about 6 minutes left to talk about Saturn before we start doing our readings.
Okay. I'll let you talk about Saturn. I'll shut up.
Oh, good. All right. On this very day, in 1996, our Cherry Hill store was gutted by a fire.
Oh.
All right. So we had gotten the store... We opened the store in 1993, and we had moved to New Paltz in 1995, and we were just really starting to get ourselves rolling, right? And we had a little refrigerator up front, and the wiring in that building was really dodgy because it used to be an open farmer's market, and they just kind of enclosed it.
Oh.
And our electrical box was tied into Gadaletto's, and there was no circuit breaker kind of thing. So for however this happened, the squad of people who investigated think that the refrigerator door wasn't closed and that the refrigerator continued to run until it couldn't trip the circuit breaker and cause a fire in that front wall by the window.
It was an electrical fire.
Electrical fire, yeah. So we were gutted, and it was really wild the way the sage wall just went up in a poof.
Well, probably.
But the candles didn't melt. And there was just like this weird, surreal, kind of heartbreaking thing.
I imagine.
So
I can imagine.
This is that whole energy of, things are not always as you expect, nor are they otherwise, right? So if we look at 1993, we know that the store itself has finished its Saturn return.
Okay.
Right? I guess the natal chart of the store, we would say, because that's when we incorporated. But if we look at 1996, when the store was gutted, let's try to stay with me. And then we moved to 180 Main because we had enough of an insurance check for a down payment. So we moved to 180 Main Street.
So even a kick up the arse can be a step forward, eh?
Right? So now I'm looking at the store finishing its Saturn return based on 1993. But then we would see that this next coming year Saturn is going to offer that same sort of reincarnation.
Right.
So it is very possible, astrologically, that Celtica will come to fruition.
Well,
because that would be another place of putting down roots, right? You see, like 93 was the store became real. 95 we were renting. 97 we got our roots, and we've been there, nearly 25, 28 years.
I know, but I mean, our group, our congregation, for want of a better word, we've outgrown the space we're in.
Right. There are about 40 people who would randomly come to Circle. We can't seat that many. Now, not everybody comes all at once, and we seem to somehow magically get everybody in that wants to come. But, as things get bigger and bigger, more and more people graduate Craft of the Wise. Where do we put them?
To work at Celtica.
And Laura M., I'm curious. I'm curious.
She reached out to you on Facebook. I saw something come up.
Oh, okay. But you're not the reader at the shop, Laura M. You're a different Laura M? Just curious. All right.
I think, well, I don't want to name names, but I saw her pop up on the Book of Face. She sent you a message. If you quickly look, you'll see who it is.
Okay. So she's not the Laura I thought. I thought it was my Lori.
No.
No, it's not my Lori.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
All right.
Our Laurie. But although she may be our Laurie,
Well,
but
she could be.
A different one. It's Laura, not Laurie, anyway.
All right. So what I'm going to say to everybody is, for this coming week,
yes,
with this Uranus, Jupiter coming together, what we have to do is look at like little one-liners for each planet.
You're good at them.
And then consider them like if we were looking out, dun, 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 they look like one planet. So,
Syzygy.
Jupiter. I expand. I'll make it grow. I'll give it energy. It's going to get bigger. I'm going to be the great benefactor.
Bigger, Rickenbacker, bigger.
And Jupiter grows things whether they're good or bad. Right? So if you're being paranoid, the voices in your head are going to really be like,
look, they really are after you.
all right. Now, Uranus is really funny. That's the modern ruler of Aquarius. So it's a bit squirrely. right? You've got those two radars bringing all this information in. And its motto is kind of like chaos, panic, and disorder. My work here has just begun.
Yes, or expect the unexpected, is it?
Right. That's what the Stephen Forrest, he's a really great astrologer, karmic astrologer, and he says, expect the unexpected. What does that mean? So now what could you imagine if these two are working together?
You may get unexpected gains, perhaps.
Or you may get so squirrely that you lose track of things.
Well, that happens a lot. You're Aquarian, bless you.
Right. So I'm going to put these things together and say, things are not always as they appear, nor are they otherwise.
It's true, that.
So because of Mars and Venus squaring, right? Mars and Venus are in Aquarius, making a loose square to this Uranus-Jupiter conjunction, and squares are harsh to deal with. They, pointy edges. You don't want to walk into them. It's going to be stop, look, and listen, right? You don't want to get overly passionate about something until you have the facts. You don't want to get overly attached to something until you have the facts. So this is going to be a very, very challenging week. I've been saying, we've not seen nothing yet, and poor Savannah was like, I can't take any more.
Run away! Run away and hide. That's it. Do the brave thing. Yes,
but
definitely.
Yeah, so this week, I did a chart because it's Cucamonga.
Show them on the talk of tick. There you go. Well,
yeah, that's the chart for today.
Ha-ha.
So I could see where things are at, and holy spiffy doodle,
Holy spiffy doodle, Batman.
And then today we have Moon in Libra as well, so that's kind of making our discernment a bit interesting.
Apparently, Laura M just got an ad for Temu. I'm sorry about that. I don't know about Temu either. I hear weird things about them. I don't know. I mean,
well, these are the kind of things that we're going to be dealing with. Trust issues are going to get bigger and bigger. Trust issues. Is this real?
Well,
right?
With AI and all that crap,
well,
Deep
on any
fakes.
level, right? With AI, with the internet, with disinformation, but within yourself too, because astrology is very psychological. Is this real?
So what are you saying is like the whole world's gaslighting us, right?
The whole world is tending to gaslight themselves. All right, and you need to be a step ahead, a little more grounded, right? The other, last week sometime, and now I guess it's probably like 10 days ago, I was having what I felt might be an anxiety attack, remember? Right?
I know you didn't feel right. You didn't feel right. It was like there was a disturbance in the force.
Yeah, I just don't have anxiety. I worry a lot, but it's more like, intense planning.
Yeah, worrying is manifestation.
And I was having this, and I said to him, I just don't know what this is. There is some serious energy of unrest. I don't know if it's for, from my guides for me or what this is about. And it was, of course, the evening that they killed Alexei Navalny.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, when we were listening to the news, they had said that the day before his murder, he was on a list of prisoners to be exchanged and come to the United States. So there was no way Russia was going to let that happen. And I don't like to get all political, and I don't do it for that. I just, I'm not trying to get on my soapbox. I'm just trying to say that expect the unexpected. First of all, that he would even get on a list to come to the United States, and then, he's murdered. And that's why I'm saying Jupiter will expand both good and bad.
I know. We really need to get back to the principles on which this country is supposedly built. Democracy. So that would be lovely. Gosh, what do we got? I've been able to accurately dowse in several weeks. What's that? I haven't been able to dowse in several weeks. I'm deviceless dowser. So I know it's wrong, and it's usually so accurate as it drives me crazy.
There are tremors in the forest.
There
that's
are.
all I can say.
There are. It's just, yeah. However, I'm feeling slightly easier. I'm feeling slightly easier. I'm hoping it's on the mend. You know, that's all we can do. All we can do as mere mortals is brighten the corner where we are, as your dad would have said.
Yeah.
Quite literally. You know, I don't have the agency to affect world affairs. I don't. You know, but what I do have is the ability to make somebody's day better, and maybe, you know, just by tuning in and watching this, you know, I've made you smile, and that's great. And that's the simple little things, like hold a door for somebody, let somebody cut you in line.
Well, people have become so unsocial, they freak
Yeah.
out when you hold the door for them. They think, oh, he must have an ulterior motive. He wants to abduct me.
What have we become?
I don't know.
What have we
but I'm
become?
just saying, this is how it goes, right?
It's just like,
Oh, Lord.
this is not right.
All right,
there's a whole bunch
Sean
of...
is first.
I see Anna joined us as well. We
Yep.
have Anne-Marie and
I
Anna.
have
You've
Sean,
got...
Anna, Helena.
Oh, and Gilda. Hi,
Laura,
Gilda.
Cass, Savannah. Okay, Gilda. And you said somebody else? Anna Marie?
Anna-Marie, and Anna. I know it gets confusing. But we
Okay,
have
so Anna Marie was before Gilda.
Yes. And I don't know when Anna joined us because...
Way back.
Way back. Apparently, dog grooming ads she's watching. I don't have a dog. We don't have the ability. They for a time I saw it popped up. I had the ability to like go, no, don't show adverts.
No, you can't.
That's disappeared. Thanks, YouTube. They
All right.
they
Look, if
Google
we don't
want
get
your
on
money.
with it,
All right,
we're not
right. Who's doing what? You want to go first?
Sean.
Sean was our very firstest, was he? Not a bad card.
I feel like there's some sort of financial breakthrough. Very, very positive. It's gardening, but not just putting seeds in the ground. This is like something that you've been working on behind the scenes is about to jump forward.
This is, for me, I love, I don't know if you can see that ploughed field there, and the fact that this individual literally towers over their environment. For me, this is the quintessential thinking outside the box card. You know, Henry Ford said, like, you know, if I'd have asked my customers what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse. So sometimes we need to just like totally reinvent things, and I think there's a period of great creativity for you. So just have at it. It's good to embrace, you know, the unknown and learn new skills and all sorts of fun and wonderful stuff like that.
Okay.
All right.
What she was saying was the Celtica donation page doesn't work.
Somebody just went plink, and I don't know what that meant.
All right, Anna B.
We'll have to have a look at that then, won't we? You can donate on the video. If you go direct to the video on YouTube, it will donate there.
All right. I know this is one of the best money cards going, but I feel like this has to do with something regarding the home. I'm really being drawn to look at that archway, and I don't know why. So I'm going to say some very, very good news is coming for you regarding your home. I don't know whether you're putting an addition on, or I don't know. There's just something really, really positive happening regarding your home. I don't know what he's going to say about
Who we
it.
got?
Anna B.
Oh, right. No, this is actually, it's a really, really good card. It's very much like, you know, established stuff, you know. Heraldic, well-established, copaesthetic, everything going on. And it's a comfortable card. Comfortable financially. To me, this represents old money, you know. So maybe there's some kind of connection that you're going to get, and you'll determine that you are, in fact, you know, the heir to a multi-million-dollar estate. How nice would that be? You never know. But no, seriously, it's this is a good card. So if you're looking for positive news or a positive move forward in something, it's definitely brewing.
All right. Helena.
Yes.
Oh, I think you're supposed to go first, but I went first anyway. I've been picking the cards.
Hello, Lauren, on there. Hello, whoever you are. Stop worrying. This is Helena. Worrying is
wow.
manifestation in reverse, love. You know this. You don't get anything good from worrying about it. Take yourself past the point where, you know, everything always works out better than you thought it was going to. So take yourself, 20 minutes past the event and try to picture it. Oh, it wasn't that bad, and you'll be all right. And work out where you want to be, not where you don't want to be. It's like when you fret about things, it's you like map a route. And then that could happen. Then oh no, and you literally are doing like a critical path analysis to take you where you don't want to be. So do it differently. Visualize a completely different outcome.
I was watching a video the other night about how to cope with stress,
Yes.
right? Because I said I was having that weird feeling. And what the person said I thought was brilliant. They said, you have been through all kinds of things to get to where you are in your life. And every time you had what you thought was your very darkest time, it worked out somehow, and you're still here. So even if you're in this place of deep worry and stress and, I call it ultimate planning, you have to know that it is going to work out and you're going to be okay. And you're going to be able to look back on it as one more thing that you have overcome in the whole list of things that you've processed in your life. And I thought, that helps me, because even though I'm really, really trying to be present and take care of all these balls that are in the air, inside I know I'm going to still be there. I'm going to somehow navigate this and be able to look back and think, okay, see, I handled it. So I call it intense planning. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, and never for a second contemplate that it won't work out for the best, for your highest good.
There you go. And thank you so much for the super chat, Helena. She would like us to add Ruth to the list.
Okay.
There you go. All right. Who we got next?
Laura. Laura, who's not Lori the reader.
Right. Is it me? Is it you? Is it who?
It's this card right
I went first
here.
last time, so you could go first this time. What we got now? Ooh, hey.
All right.
We like this card.
So, we're talking about Saturn. Well, this chair kind of makes the glyph of Saturn. Sit right down here, you're going to listen. And what I think this card is saying to you is, you already have an awful lot of tools in your toolbox, and you already have a lot of insight and information. You already have a lot of puzzle pieces. You just may not know exactly what the picture is supposed to be or exactly how you're supposed to use each tool. So there needs to be, I think, a calming and a centering and a figuring out of what you already know and how to make best use of it.
I've just instantly and psychically determined what was wrong with the live link. It's the SDI cable. That's all it is. We'll replace it, Bob, if you're watching. All right, so this is a fantastic card. This is allowing nature to nurture you and really getting into sort of the natural biorhythmic things around you to really embrace that kind of loving, nurturing undertone that starts to appear in everything this time of year as we move closer and closer to the green coming back. There is that innate sort of optimism and fecundity. If you're starting a new project or something like that, this is a good time to start really focusing on it. But whatever you do, come at it from a place of love and you will be just fine.
So now I want to take a moment and just say to people, if you are here and listening to these readings,
Yes.
you're creating a group mind for this divinatory session, and much of what's being said to others may also speak to you. Not that everybody's reading is exactly the same, but there's an overtone or an energy of this collective, and Spirit tries to speak to the collective as well as the individual. So you could always go back and listen to other people's cards to glean what speaks to you from that energy, from that message. All right, Cass.
Cass. Interesting, this one. All right, again, just be mindful of being judgmental, especially with regard to yourself. I know you're ostensibly a really warm, outgoing person, but I think sometimes you're a little harsh on yourself internally. Understand that, you know, if you had a friend who all they ever did was get on your case, you wouldn't want to be friends with them for very long. So probably stop inflicting this on yourself, you know. Might be a good idea. Try to allow yourself to, as the picture is here, get yourself back upright, resurrected, you know, standing up and getting on with things.
I'd like to glean the money coming to Anna. Cass.
Do what? Where?
Savannah said, I'd like to glean the money coming to Anna. Ah, Cass. I can feel an energy, and it's not a tension, but it's a vibration. And I feel this in heart center. And I think this Mars-Venus thing is really trying to push you to make a big step, right? Like, I was talking to somebody the other day and saying, it's like, initiation is like the bomb's been detonated and you can't undetonate it.
Generally can't, no.
And I feel like there's something going on within your heart center that is kind of that big step, or that can't undo it. And it makes you really both excited and frightened at the same time. I don't know. I'm going to say go for it. Go for it. Don't talk yourself out of it. But you have to do what's right for you.
I love it.
All right, Savannah.
All right. Savannah would like the money that's coming to Anna, apparently. It's you, me,
That's
who?
Savannah.
Oh, well, you picked it then.
All right.
Scorpio card.
Like
Scorpio. This is definitely my Scorpio card. I mean, it's as Scorpio as they come, you know? There's a real intensity of focus going on here, and I think for you, I'm really feeling that this is probably a reawakening of your... what's the word I'm looking for here? Your curiosity. It's almost like it's been given a second wind, and you're driven to explore the esoteric a lot more than perhaps you have. I think the winter was kind of like hard in terms of, you know, motion and movement and just feeling okay in and of yourself. I think it's hard to be brilliant when you're hurt, you know what I mean? And I think we're moving into a place where you are restoring yourself back to your crazy, inquisitive, like have to know everything about everything sort of self, you know? And there's an intensity there, and I think it's okay. But just be mindful what seeking is actually making you seek.
All right. I'm going to say that this is about 8th house stuff. Scorpio is linked to the 8th house, which is other people's money. All kinds of other things as well, but I feel like that's what's speaking to me right now. And this is about signing on the dotted line. So I don't know if there's a settlement or a tax thing or whatever's going on, but before you make the final agreement, make sure it's exactly how you want it to be. Mercury's not retrograde, but Jupiter is conjunct Uranus. So, and that's probably happening close to your sun. What day Taurus are you? What degree Taurus are you, Savannah? Because this is happening in the second decadent.
I'll take other people's money.
Right.
How nice.
Well, it's happening in the second decadent. I don't know if you're born mid-Taurus or not, but things are going to grow really quickly. Pay attention to the details.
How nice.
All
so
right.
there you go. That didn't suck, eh? All
right. Anna Marie.
Anna Marie. I suppose I should pull the card.
May 5th.
But there you go. You can read that one. We'll do it all back to front now. Look.
24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. Sorry. 28th, 29th, 30th. 1, 2, 3.
Constant gardener card. I suppose I'll start because she's just like
17 degrees.
Off
Okay, yeah, this conjunction is happening on your sun. So I'm thinking you're about 17 degrees Taurus.
Mid-Taurus, yeah. That's like halfway through. Go on then. I haven't started yet.
Who's this for? Anna Marie.
Apparently I picked it because you were too busy.
Patience. Anna Marie. If you want corn, and anytime you see the little blade of grass come up that's going to be the corn stalk, you pick the little blade. You ain't never going to get the corn.
That's true, though.
So no matter how much of a pain in this project is, it's time to weed and feed and contemplate and let it get to where it needs to be. Sometimes patience is a 4-letter word, but that's where you're at.
Patience is a 4-letter word?
Yeah.
If I had any more patience, I'd be a bloody doctor, wouldn't I? Ha, ha, ha. No, also, not just, taking your time about this, but also the grass does grow all by itself so long as you do simply what's necessary. And, it really is, don't overthink it. Don't overdo it. Be patient. Just do the steps that's necessary, like this, maintain your constant attention. But look what comes as a result of that. It will come if you allow it to flow in the course of time, doing what's necessary. That's it.
All right, I just made a note to myself, something else.
Note to self.
Gilda!
All right, then.
You pull.
I'll pull. All right. Oh, hey. There you go. This is a wonderful card. I was writing all about this yesterday, as it happens. So, again, this card marks so much like bursting forth at this time. There's, and it can indicate prosperity. Like this standard wheat here, that's currency, that is. They used to have corn exchanges back in the UK, back in England or whatever, where people would tithe a portion of the crops that they grew. And so this was like money. This is how taxes were paid and all that fun stuff. So I feel there's like something really developing for you. I know it's like a side hustle or something. Maybe it's just like you creating something, you're like a bit of a maker thing. I don't know, but I think this, so long as you do it with class and beauty and allow the Venus side of things to come forward, it will be quite beautiful.
Right, because Aquarians are getting kind of screwed up with this Venus-Mars conjunction. All right. I think this has to do with some sort of research into your ancestry, into whatever kind of spiritual work they did.
Fascinating.
Somehow connected to some sort of shamanic work or healing work. So I think a doorway is opening for you into that kind of healing work. What's this now?
Sean's saying he wishes he could pay his taxes in grain.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Yeah, just give him a huge pumpkin. I paid him with a turnip, I did. Who we got?
All right. So now Helena's friend Ruth.
Ruth. It's your turn.
Oh, Ruth.
Sikoth.
Oh.
Ruth Ann.
Again, kind of this, things are not as they appear, nor are they otherwise. Feeling like you're stuck, you're not really. I always tell people, look at the nooses around their neck. They're big enough they could slip them off. So this definitely is a Saturn card, which can be seen as restriction or hesitation. And I feel like, I don't know, like there's been some shadow work happening, and now there's going to be an awareness that you couldn't have a shadow unless there was some light. So I think that there's going to be some information coming forth that helps you to know you're not stuck.
This, yeah, not everything is as it appears, as Lisa says. This guy, you know, whenever you pull this card out and you've got a querent in front of you, it's one of those things that invokes an immediate response. People go, the devil. But he's not, you know. Devil, Diwali, hell, all of these words mean light.
Yeah.
Light. And this is what he's doing. He's actually transmitting the flash of light, is, as it were, lux, that which illuminates the force that gives rise to life through the womb here. And this is what, this little blessing that he's holding up here, this is what Leonard Nimoy stole it as the thing for live long and prosper for Spock. But it's actually, as I understand it, like a very sacred Judaic blessing, which is at the synagogue, where the rabbi is actually honouring the sanctity of the human womb, the feminine womb, which gives form to force. But he is the representation of the transmission of force into life, where we become incarnate, we become imprisoned in a body. You know, we're no longer spirit anymore, and hence that's why we're chained. And this is a cube and all that fun stuff. So much maligned. What do you? Much maligned, much misunderstood what the message of this is. It's so... But for you, I think, Ruth Ann, think about irrational fears.
Where do you think it's Ruth Ann?
I don't know why. It's because we've been watching bloody... For you, Ruth, we've been watching Northern Exposure. She found this and decided to torture me with it. So
Anyway.
Ruth, I'm sorry. Not Ruth Ann. Unless you are Ruth Ann, which would be really weird. So, what's your irrational fears, okay? Things that may be unsettling you without particularly good reason. And maybe confront them, but not in an argumentative way. And I think you'll grow in leaps and bounds from that when you realise, you know, where something's come from. Just as a little anecdotal sort of background here, when I was a kid, until, you know, I was well into my teens, just about, I had this bizarre fear of down escalators. I was absolutely fine.
Well, you've never told this story before.
Shut up. Look. There's at least one viewer out there who wants to hear this story.
I bet there is.
One, just one. So for that viewer, I will regale the story. So I couldn't figure out why I was just like done in with down escalators, but I was okay with up escalators. It really made no sense until I found out that my grandmother had dropped me as a baby, as she was stepping onto an escalator at the Bullring Centre in Birmingham. And at the moment I knew this is why it was gone. So search for what it was that's like seems to be irrational and bothering you.
You never heard it, Savannah? Oh God, he tells it all the time. All right, card of the week.
Does it need a fanfare? Should have a fanfare, right?
Oh, talk about expect the unexpected.
Spin the wheel, round it goes. Where it lands,
Stops, nobody
knows.
knows. So, yeah, I'm going to say that discernment is my word for this card. All good things can come. We just have to be aligned with them. So focus, manifest, and align yourself with things for your highest good that you want and deserve.
Who's British and appreciates my waffles? What are you talking about, Helen? Listen, again, this is a card of things are not necessarily as they appear, nor are they necessarily otherwise. If we look at what's written on here, and I'll go right up to there so you can see on the tick of tock, and up there onto the main camera. But this says, if you look at the top, it says tarot, right? Or does it? Because if you start at the bottom, it says rota, which means wheel. But if you start at the top and go the other way around, it says Torah, which is the first 5 books of the Old Testament. What is it?
Just get on with it.
Sometimes things need a second look, and I think whilst we're in this bizarre astrological kind of mixed up energies,
intense.
Just be careful not to go off half-cocked. You know, pause, assess, and... What the heck? Well, George, Norm, you're going to get a card for that. We'll pull him a card, whoever you are.
I don't know, but we're over time, so...
It doesn't matter. We can throw that. George Norris has thrown us a whole ton of gifts on the Tock of Ticks, so thank you for that. And
all right, you can pull a card for George?
There you go. So, yeah, expect the unexpected. Go on, you go.
George, you will fight them off. I don't know if you ever saw the game Whack-A-Mole, but... I really feel like you're on your game. And even though it's 1 against 6, 7, 1 against the world, you're going to do it. You're multitasking. Even though guys, they say can't multitask. You've got it. All the balls are in the air. All the plates are spinning. Everything is going to come good. I feel like there's a huge growth surge here. You will keep up with it all.
So, yeah, this is actually a cracking good card. It does say that you need to move on things a bit quickly, get on top of them, but you're literally towering over this. You've so got it. You've so got it. And if you can manage to keep ahead of the game here, you will do well from it. I mean, I see like a major elevation in status for you.
Right.
You know?
I mean, this guy can walk in 2 different worlds. He's got a boot on one leg and a shoe on the other.
See that?
So even there, he's paddling in 2 worlds. So you're going to get on with it. You're going to get it done. And you're going to be amazed.
Thank you for the gifts.
All right, people.
So
we have a meeting with the tarot artist, so we
do. Yes, unfortunately, we've got stuff to get on with. So thank you so much for watching. We totally appreciate it. I'm going to have to...
Remember Celtica.org. We will fix...
Celtica.org.
We will fix the donation thing. Thank you for letting us know that wasn't working.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, isn't it? We'll have to figure that out. All right. Are we good?
Yes, we're good.
All right. We're actually overdue our meeting, so we have to go.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Have an amazingly wonderful day, and we will see you real soon.
I'm trying to move on. Others' cards made a lot of sense. Yep.
I'm trying to end this here.
Have a great week, everybody. Peace and blessed be. Don't let the turkeys get you down.